Oh, it works. Hi guys. It's your boy Chaotic Designs, and I don't know why I have these headphones on. I was playing around with my editing software, so for some reason when it's in stationary mode, it does not want to let me click the tabs. So I'd like to welcome you guys to what I like to call the Hot Topics, the Pokemon Hot Topics Corner. You know, once a month I like to do a video just to talk about some of the things going on. Whether it's like specific things or kind of more broad topic stuff. And, you know, not too much to talk about today, but one thing that I saw online is that the Pokemon Center is actually going to be, if you guys are looking at the screen, they're going to be slowly removing their kiosks, right? Their Pokemon Center kiosks that they do the products, which usually function on a randomizer. I think a lot of people would say, would you rather be in front of a kiosk and get product, or would you rather deal with bots? I don't know if I want to make that decision, but I will say I don't like bots. So basically what they're going to be doing is they're going to be removing from select areas kiosks, some of the Pokemon Center kiosks they have. Now, I don't know if this is a total removal, because when you read this, it doesn't sound like, it says, we confirm that Pokemon Center is gradually removed from selected retail locations. It doesn't necessarily sound like they're going to be removing all of them, but a good majority of them. And obvious is because it says on the second paragraph, by reallocating inventory and resources previously dedicated to kiosk machines, we're aiming to improve stock consistency, reduce regional shortages, and provide more reliable experience for all trainers. I'm just gonna say this right now, you could remove all of these freaking kiosks. It's not gonna fix the issue with the bots. It really looks like Pokemon Center is trying to play Russian roulette and kind of just test things out. You know, we get the early access system, right? This was introduced, I talked about it in a previous Hot Topic video, where they introduced a lottery system where they gave us this long FAQ with barely any information. There is no transparency of how people are selected. And they used it on Phantasmal Flames bundles. Literally a new set, a product that should be made available for everybody, and yet it's not. This is not a problem of introducing new lottery systems or removing kiosks. This is the fact that Pokemon Center dramatically is having issue maintaining inventory and stock for the abundant amount of people that want to get product. That's a fact. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. And even with the mega error sets being smaller and you know, a little, you know, this is like my first full year of really enjoying the calendar of releases, but you know, there's always product coming out. But for example, I'm recording this video today. Pokemon Center dropped the EX boxes and a blister of Phantasmal Flames and Mega Evolution. Guess what? Those EX boxes in 20 minutes were sold out. And the limit on the Phantasmal Flames and the Mega Evolution blisters was 1. The shipping, even though it was reduced down to paying a minimum of $20 to get free shipping, you ain't getting shit free for $10.99. By the time you're done paying, they might as well increase the amount of blisters. So I don't exactly know what they're doing. Like, taking away the kiosk, I don't necessarily think is a problem. And I don't think it's going to dramatically influence how many of these things are in the United States. There's probably more third-party kiosks than there are Pokemon Center kiosks. And I don't know this for sure, but that's just my opinion of it. Because, like, I can go to Queen Center Mall, and there's a kiosk there, but it ain't a Pokemon Center kiosk. So, I don't know if this is going to help, you know? Like Pokemon Center bought out Excel Brands, which is in charge of pretty much, like, logistics deployment of Pokemon products. So now they're going to have more control of that. But, like, whenever you go to a Target, it's either going to be Excel Brands or MJ Holdings. If you go to a Best Buy, it's FedEx dropping off boxes and stuff. Like, you know, I went to my Best Buy today. Today I picked up a poster collection box. There was a line there. There's never a freaking line there. Like, things are always changing up, and sometimes it is very hard to keep up with this shit. I usually hit up my Best Buys every Thursday and Friday. And I have to sometimes switch it up. And now I'm trying to hit up my Target every once in a while. And I'll say right now, man, if you're trying to get shit online, it is not freaking easy. Walmart, hit F12, that shit says unlikely every other moment. And Target, I will just say that it literally always kicks my stuff out of the cart. I could have everything I want. I'm logged in, and it will kick the shit out of there. So, like, we could piggyback off the fact that Pokemon has a distribution issue. They have a massive distribution issue that needs to be literally resolved. And they need to resolve the bots, because you can introduce a lottery system. You can introduce everything but the kitchen sink. And it's not going to help if literally bots are clearing shit out quickly, and that's the thing. So I don't know if this kiosk removal thing is going to be good. You know, there was another topic that came up online. Let me see if I can find it. I love when I do searches for stuff. So GameStop wants to buy eBay. Bid on eBay. I found this interesting. I just wanted to pop this up. No, that's not that. Is that it? Proposes to acquire eBay at $125 a share. Yeah, it's a lot. Okay, so we're just gonna skip at that. So this is interesting. GameStop wants to buy eBay for $56 billion. There has been a bid put out there. Now, I think we could all agree that GameStop is not what it used to be. It is the last place that any of us want to go to buy product. Everything is overinflated, high, okay? In order to get a Gengar promo card, you had to spend like 30 bucks. I was like, yeah, up yours, because I could go to Best Buy and buy one item and I'm automatically getting the promo card. I could buy 10 items, I'm automatically getting the promo card they had. They should just send the promo cards to Best Buy or to Target, to a better location that actually sells things at MSRP. Now, then there was like, I don't know if this is true or not, but on Instagram, I use Collector app for pretty much like storing all my info, like my products and stuff. I honestly love it. There was something on Instagram about Collector buying GameStop, and I don't know if that's true or not, but like, this is the problem, is that everything tries to get monopolized. This is why we have monopoly laws. This is why PSA has a lawsuit against them right now for violating monopoly laws, in terms to the fact that a lot of times when companies buy their rivals, they don't necessarily buy them and integrate them fully. They maintain them as separate sister or cousin companies. And they find a way to bypass those monopoly laws so that they have control of their competition, but their competition is acting like it's still their own entity. You know what I mean? And they did that with CGC, and they did it with Beckett. And they're just like, I go back to it. PSA, there's too much controversy there. And sadly, the company that I really, really enjoy is Tag. I'm not a big fan of AI, as I said before, and I spoke about them in a previous video. And this is another topic that we're going to right now, is that Tag actually had to literally stop doing entries. Let me see something. I love looking for things, but I don't know if I can find there was like an article that went out, and I'm trying to going on Facebook. Yeah, we're pausing. Yeah, so this was something that was sent out to customers, pretty much saying that due to the high demand, they have had growth, right? Their highest tier, they've had about 120% growth over the start of the year. They've had in their lower tiers 800% growth in entries for grading, which is astronomically great for them. But it's forced them to have to stop taking entries in order to better acclimate their facilities, to better get more employees, to get more equipment, right? Because they use AI. This is probably one of the few times I will say AI is being used correctly, because I feel like PSA has dropped the ball too many times, whether it's from buying slabs and slabs getting regraded from 9s to 10s, whatever it may be. Like, if I'm gonna do PSA, I am going to buy PSA slabs that I like, and how I want to get them. I'm not really looking to grade anything with PSA right now. I'm actually gonna hopefully try tag out. I might try Ace grading. I think their labels are some of the most beautiful labels out there. I honestly am leaning in that direction. I think tag is up and coming. I think they're a healthy competition, which is what we need. You know, like, one company should not be buying out everybody else. It's the same thing that, for example, that's happening with Warner Brothers and Paramount and all these different companies. They buy each other and they end up just monopolizing brands together. And it's what Disney does. Like, unofficially, Disney has bought out more brands that show up as their separate brands. They're subsidiary companies to Disney. Disney owns them. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, some companies and brands do it in a way where they don't get in trouble. Sadly, PSA ended up getting a lawsuit against them, so yeah. But, like, this is... I'm not upset about this, because I know... Because, like, they're doing what they need to do to make the improvements. They see the growth. They see the shift in the popularity of what they're doing and their brand. And they're growing. They're doing everything they're supposed to do. When you don't see PSA answering anything to the crap that's been going on, or fully handling it the way it should be handled. So yeah, I'm excited to try tag out. Hopefully they'll get their basic and standard stuff going up sooner than later. I hope so. Let me just close this tab. What's the last thing I'm gonna say is, like, you know, I got into collecting, and everything that's going on, everything I talk about can indirectly or directly impact us, whether it's, you know, Pokemon Center making deals that solidifies how they do stuff, whether it's the different things they're trying out to see if it's gonna avert bots. In reality, it hasn't really done anything. It could be the different grading companies, like everything that happens, even GameStop. If GameStop does happen to purchase eBay, you're going to have a company that's going to have control of a network, a marketplace, where they can very control and have more sway on the market value, right? And they can have more sway on how product is sold, especially like Pokemon product or other TCG. So it's a tricky thing, and I honestly don't know. Like, I used to really like GameStop, and I'm just not really feeling them. And I'm very tactical when I buy my products. I'm very tactical when it comes to a lot of stuff. But yeah, and I'm not a fan of like, when I talk about these topics, it's like I'm not on the end of defending any of this shit, because it just doesn't resonate with me. I'm not a fan of a lottery system. You have no transparency. I'm not a fan of a lot of different things that I see, whether I'm on a line and people are like, oh, we don't, you know, this and that, and people are cutting, and you get a ticket and you realize, like, there's like 20 or 30 extra people that jumped the line. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole bunch of shit, but at the end of the day, it's like, sadly, some things are easier to deal with than others. But I will say that I hope Pokemon Center gets their shit together, man. They really need to start putting more product out. They need to work with the other companies, work with Best Buy, work with Target, work with the small mom and pop, you know, hobby stores. Like, get a little more direct, so that way us as collectors, as fans of the TCG, as players of the game, have a better opportunity to get product. Like, I'm one of those people, like, I do a video a week right now. I'm not killing myself doing, like, as many videos. Like, I got, like, 74 subs. I'm trying to hit that 100. I'm trying to elevate. I'm trying to grow the brand. But, like, I'm doing things within the realistic approach of what works for me. But like, you know, I think all of us can agree that product is one of those things that we really need improvement on, and I don't think a lot of the stuff that Pokemon Center is doing is going to help with bots. It's going to help with distribution. Like, they need to handle those issues directly. You need to figure out how to improve your distribution. You need to figure out, don't buy XL brands if the shit's going to be the same way and you're not going to make improvements. Okay, it just doesn't make any sense. And like, you know, the bots, I've been hearing about bots even when I wasn't into Pokemon as much years ago, when there was that gap of time where I just kind of like got into other stuff and I wasn't into like any TCGs. I wasn't even gaming that much. And I honestly really think that bots have been around, man. There's always been a hustle, there's always been a way. But I honestly really think Pokemon Center needs to really approach things differently, because the fact that you come on and literally in 20 minutes all your EX products are done. How are you not stocked up for a Pokemon Center drop, knowing the amount of people that are going to come in, knowing the fact there might be bots? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's an epic fail. Like, I get to the blister and I'm like, ooh, a blister, and then I see the limit 1 and I'm like, no. I'm like, I ain't doing this. Nah, man. It's not worth it at all. So yeah, you know, like, that is our hot topics for the day. I just wanted to talk about some of these things, you know, the removal of the kiosks, the issues with bots and distribution. You know, everything's interconnected and it all dribbles down. You know, even the things going on in the grading community, whether it's with PSA or tag, everything impacts us one way, shape, or form. And like, I honestly really hope a lot of things work out for the areas that need to work out. I hope there's improvement for a lot of other areas. But besides that, yeah, I am just currently stacking up some Ascended Heroes, stacking up some Perfect Order, getting ready for Chaos Rising. My 2 ETBs will probably be shipped out literally the day before release, because that's usually what happens, and then I get it the same day. And then pretty much I will be at Best Buy getting Chaos Rising. Now my big goal right now is to get a little more Ascended Heroes. First partner boxes, I'm going to try to hit up Target next week, see if I can get a few. If any drops happen online, I'll try, but it hasn't worked yet. And yeah, I mean, Destin Rivals is going through its reprint, so I'm going to try to get some Destin Rivals, guys. But I just want to say, as always, thank you so much for supporting the channel. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Simple, takes not even a second of your time. I would really appreciate it, trying to hit that 100 goal, and then we're just going to keep bouncing and going hard. And yeah, you know, thank you so much. Don't forget, guys, to take care of yourselves, look out for each other, you know, keep in touch with your loved ones, and just, you know, just be awesome human beings. Let's try to be the best versions of ourselves. All right, but this is your boy Chaotic Designs. Until next time, guys. Is this not working?